Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Yeah, so let me share my screen and we get started faster. Okay, today we are going to design this website. Yeah, can you all see the screen? Innocent, can you see the screen?
Yeah, yes, I can. World's best aquarium.
All right. Yeah, so we're going to design a website like this using CSS. Yeah, I hope you can see that it is looking good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to first disconnect its CSS, then we compare when it has CSS, then when it doesn't have CSS, then after we develop it from scratch. Yeah, so I have two files here. There's one called aquarium.html, then another called aqua.html. So I'm going to go and I remove CSS from aqua.html. Yeah, so from aqua.html, you can see the code is not a lot. The HTML code is not a lot. Yeah, so I'm going to come and comment out this. I comment out this line so that it is not red. Then I need to have some background. So I'm going to put this style to put some background. So because some words are white, you can see here, the words are in white. So I need to put some background so that we can see. So I'm going to put a background of this color. Yeah, let me just put this like that. Then I'm going to save. Then we go back. So this is how it looks like when it has CSS, and this is how it looks like without CSS. So I see in the difference. Now we're going to develop it. You can see how we have our logo big as it the way it wants. We have buttons, we have words. Yeah, but visiting this and this, you could tell a very big difference. But it is CSS that is making it to look like this. Yeah, so right now I'm going to go and I start developing. Before I do so, we're going to be referring to this page because now we're not going to be like, I'm not going to teach you everything about CSS from zero. We're not having a class. We're having very few sessions. So I'm going to show you how can you learn very many things. Now, this website, I already showed you, MDN, that is a Mozilla Development Network Web Docs. Just come here on search, then you try to search for anything that is not clear for you. For example, you've seen something that talks about margin. Just search margin, then you will see web CSS. Click on that. Then the good thing, it will give you a demo. Like as I see the results from here, like if I give margin 5%, this is what is good. If I give margin 10 pixels by 50 pixels by 20, if I give margin is 0, this is how it's going to look like. Then it goes ahead to tell you that just margin incorporates 3 tags, that is margin bottom, left, right, and top. So in case you're writing them together, you will be starting with the bottom, then what is left, then what is on the right, and then what is on the top. Then it goes ahead and shows you some syntax. Yeah, so to save on time, there are already some tags that there are already some values that I chose to be able to achieve this. Yeah, so we shall just come here and we see which are other alternatives, but just showing you a small sample. Then later on you can go and find out how you can customize yours. Yeah, so right now let's dive into here. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, this is my CSS, but we're going to develop it. We're going to start it from scratch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new CSS. Okay, I'm going to start by creating new HTML file here, and I'm going to call it index.html. Yeah, so we have index.html, and it's going to be developed. Okay, I've misspelled it. I can rename. Yeah, so it is index.ht. Yeah, like that. Okay, so we can delete this and stay with this one. All right, so this is going to be HTML5. Yeah, this is where we're going to start from. Then my CSS is going to be in this folder that is called CSS. There is already a file called style.css. So we're going to create a new one and we're going to call it maybe Arco CSS dot CSS, like that. Yeah, so the first thing we need to do is to test whether we're going to connect this to our index.html, then we test whether it is working. Yeah, so I'm going to come after title, then I'm going to call this aquarium, just the heading. Then I'm going to import my CSS. So we use link. Then the relationship between the files is style sheet. Yeah, then type. The type is text stroke CSS. Then the source, that is a reference. CSS stroke, we are going to use arco.css. Okay, so let's start by testing here. We can say, in order for you to say that you're using body, you can just use hash so that it's going to be applied to everybody. So here I can start by saying background color may be black, just to test that it is working. So I'm going to open this in our browser. Yeah, so it's the one that we're going to use here. So it's called index.html. Okay, there are two dots. Yeah, so you can see that the background is black, and it means that now my CSS is communicating to HTML. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, we can remove this. Yes, we have our index. So we're going to be referring to this, which is already built, and we try to come up with ours. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to first put the CSS for the whole body. Like I told you, star may mean body, like everything's going to be applied to that. Yeah, so in case this means that in case no other like declarations are made, please take these declarations. Yeah, so the whole body, I want it to have margin of 0 pixel. What it means, it's going to stretch like up to the end. Now, like we said, if it is not clear for you, you can just come to this website, then you type in margin. Yeah, we already have margin here. So you can see the margin of 0. This is how it will look like. Margin of putting 10 pixels, 50, 20, 0, that's how it will look like. Now, margin of 0 stretches everything, top, right, left, bottom. Yeah, so I'm taking margin 0. Then another thing is I'm going to take is called padding, and also it's going to be 0. Yeah, it's 0 pixels. When instead of saying 0 pixels, just say 0. You don't have to include the pixels. Yeah, so what also that one means is that the space you're leaving around. For example, if you have a box and something is within the box, like you see this, the space which is left between here, that's called padding. Yeah, so if I go to padding 0, you can see that there is no space that is being left. And also padding is like margin, you can specify bottom, like here, how many pixels should it move from the bottom. Then you also specify left, then right, then top. Yeah, so now if you have different dimensions, like here, you have different dimensions for for top, for bottom, left, right, and top. In case you have different dimensions, you write them like this. You just put a space. So this one will be for top. This one will be for, okay, it starts with bottom. This one will be for bottom. Then this one for left, this one for right, and this one for top. So in case I want everything to be, it shouldn't leave any space, then I go with margin is 0. So I want my body to not to leave anything in the web browser. Yeah, that's why I'm choosing margin to be, I'm choosing padding to be 0. Yeah, so after that, then I'm going to specify the font family throughout this. In case no other font is changed, I want all my body to be, I'm just going to use this one because it is mostly can be read by any web browser. Yeah, so we are done with the whole body. Now, when we try to check, nothing has changed. Yeah, like here, nothing has changed. We haven't done anything. We've been just saying, in case there is some content, don't leave any spaces on the right, on the bottom, the middle, or whatever. Then also padding, we've said, let it be 0, 0, and everything. Yeah, so now we go we go back to our index. What we're going to do, we're going to create there a container that's going to occupy this, the whole page. Yeah, so you do that by using, last time I told you about the division tag, that we shall be using it a lot in CSS. Yeah, we just want to wrap everything around that so that we can style it. Yeah, so we create it, then we're going to give it a name. We're going to give it a class, and that class will help us to style it with CSS. So I can say class equals to, then give it a name. Maybe you can say this is my container. Yeah, so when I come here, in order for me to style it, I'll say container like that, dot container. Yeah, then now I can start giving different, I can start giving it different declarations. One of them can be width. Yeah, so you can see that these are different, these are kind of like different values that I can give my width. I'm going to use percentage. So if you say the width is let me say 500 pixels, then the height, this is not what I'm going with, but I just want to show you, and the height may be also 500 pixels. Then you say maybe background color, and you give some background color, maybe blue. Let's go and see whether it is drawn here. Yeah, so this is what they call a container. So it's 500, the width is 500, then the height also 500 pixels, but you can also give percentage. So if I change this percentage to be 100%, now it's going to stretch to the end like that. Yeah, so I want to form something like this, but though I'm going to put a background image, I'm going to put an image around it. Yeah, so that's what they call a container. Yeah, so it's going to contain all my elements. I have to first draw it on a web. Yes, now I'm going to give it width 100, then height. What I'm going to give it a height. Now there is what they call viewpoint height. So viewpoint height means that in case if I say 100 viewpoint height, it is VH, it is written as VH. Viewpoint height means that please let the height be 100 regardless of the screen. So even if someone is using a phone, you see like here, even if I'm using a phone or you're using what, you can say that for width, it is, okay, sorry, it is, yeah, it means that even if someone is using a phone, take the height of the phone. Even someone is using a tab, take the height of the tab. Even if someone is using a laptop, yeah, that's what viewport means. So I want it to be responsive. So the width is going to be maximum, then the height is going to adjust according to the screen. Yeah, that's what they call viewpoint height. Yeah, so I'm done with the viewpoint height. Now I don't need a background. I don't need a background color. Instead of a background color, I'm going to put a background image. here, when we come here, we can see this is a background image, and I have it here located under images. Then it is this image. Yeah, this is the image that I want to use. So I'm going to put there a background image to occupy that container. Yeah, so I come here, then I can remove this and I say background image. Yeah, then background image, you have to give the URL of the image. Then now I have to put the source here in quotes. Yeah, so right now this is Aqua CSS. See where it is located, but my images are located in the images folder. So what I have to do, I have to first tell it, please first go back, and this is how you do it, like that. Then you put stroke. Yeah, so if you put 2 dots, it goes back like 1 level. If you've ever navigated a computer, that's what I'm trying to tell it. Then when you go back again, go now to images folder, then get that image. This. So now let's check it. Here now we have it, but you can see that our image is not looking exactly the way you see this one here, because you can see that it has overstretched. You see, this is supposed to be in the middle. It has overstretched. It's not fitting well, so I need to do more styling onto my image. Yeah, so there, one of the stylings is background size. It's called background size. Yeah, here you can see that I can have auto, so that size automatically adjusts. Then I can have contain. Let's be testing and see how they look like. Contain looks like that. Yeah, then there is what they call contain repeat. So now that means if the image is small, it's going to be repetitive. Yeah, like we said, in case you see that some property is not clear for you, just come here and get a demonstration. So I'm going to go to background size. It's called background size. Then here you will see, this is what they call contain no repeat. So you can see the container is big, but due to the size of the image, it will just stop here. But if you contain and it repeats, it will be like this, so that it makes the whole box, or like the container, it fills the whole container. But what I'm going to use is called cover. Cover stretches it so that it fits within the box or the container. Yeah, you can as well give different dimensions, that I want it to be 30%, so it will repeat itself. Or you can say, I want it to be 200 pixels by 100 pixels. This is width, then this is height. So I want to use cover so that it stretches. So I'm going to say background, then I use cover. Background size is cover. Then when I come back to my page, now you can see at least now it has tried to stretch, and that is the page that we want. Yeah, so here, okay, yeah, sorry about that. We are here now. Okay, so which other things can I do to it? In case maybe the screen is very big, and what I can ensure that for its background position, it is centered. I want it to be always centered in the middle. Yeah, you can see that here, it has stretched a bit. Now it is centered. I want it to be centered everywhere. Then lastly, I can give it a position. I can say position. Now these are very many, but I just want to show you what CSS can do. Because here we cannot go through each and every like declaration. I just want to show you that you can design a very beautiful website with just small content. Yeah, so position, there are very many different types of positions. There is absolute, there is relative, but I want it to be relative to the container. So for now, you can't see the big change, but in case you want to see a demo, just come here and type in like a position here. Okay. Here you can see they will be showing you the difference between static. We are looking at this yellow box. Then if it is relative to these other boxes, by which pixels on top 40, then on the left 40, like that. Absolute will also be absolute to this one, but now it will be on top. Yeah, but me, I want relative. I want it to be relative, and I'm not specifying any pixels. You can try it here if you, it has 0 pixel and also here 0. That is what I'm talking about. It's a relative that I want. So we are going with relative. And lastly, on the image, we're going with what they call overflow. So overflow means that in case the photo is going off the screen, maybe it's not fitting in the box. Here, if it's not fitting in the box, what should happen? Is if you say visible, now you see we want all this text to be inside this box. But if you say visible, then it will be visible that it is overflowing. When you say hidden, it will just cut off the other text. If you say scroll, it will turn into scrolling. If you say auto, then it will automatically adjust. It will be like scrolling, but it will automatically adjust accordingly. But me, I want to hide it. I just, in case the photo can't fit very well, just cut off like down here so that no one notices that. So I type in hidden. Yeah, so we are done. We are done working on our background. So we can see we still have a long way to go. Yeah, so we've just managed to do the background. And now what is next is we're going to do a navigation bar. Yeah, what is a navigation bar? Here, there's an icon, and here there is a button. So a navigation bar is what allows you to navigate. You can see these ones have this navigation bar. So we want to create this navigation bar on here. So when you come back to our HTML, we don't have any code yet apart from having the container, class container. So within that container here, remember we've written some code for container, this. Now within the container, we are going to put a navigation bar. Now that means everything is going to be within that container of mine that I've just created. Yeah, so with that, I'm just going to create, I'm also going to use div. So this is also another container within a container. Like this is another section within, or a division, but it is within this one because you can see this is crossed outside. Yeah, so, okay, sorry, that, okay. Yeah, so we've created that. And what are we going to put here? It's going to be a navigation bar. Yeah, so we're going to just give it a class navigation bar, like NBA, so that we can come here and we start, so that we can come here and we style it. Yeah, so we shall have dot nav bar. Okay, so before we style it, we need to know what is going to be there. One, it's going to have an image, then also a button, only two. An image, then a button. Yeah, so let's first insert those inside here in HTML. So we're going to first insert an image. Yeah, then the image source is going to be, I'm going to insert my logo. So I'm going to go to images, stroke. Then I want this one that has aquarium logo. Yeah, then another one, I'm going to add a button. So button, then that button is going to have a word sign up. Just that. Now let's look at it. It's not yet styled, so it should be looking weird. I see the way it looks. The logo is big, and also the button is non-styled. It's non-styled in any way, but I've added them. Okay, so one, I'm going to first style my logo so that the logo is small. Yeah, so I'm going to give it a class of maybe logo. Then I come here and I style that logo. I'll get back to the navigation bar. So dot logo. Yeah, so I'm styling my logo. First of all, I'm going to give it a small width, like 100 pixels, so that it reduces here. Now you can see it is small. It's smaller than the first one was very big. Now when I go there, the cursor doesn't change. So I want, when someone tries to put a cursor there, it changes. Yeah, so with that, I just have to use a declaration called cursor. or a property called cursor. Then the value, I'm going to use a pointer. Now there are very many. There are very many others. A pointer is going to look like this. Yeah, but there are very many others which are none other than pointers. And we said you can always come here for a demonstration before you choose it. Now this one is called help button. You see the way it looks like. It has a question mark. Wait will look like a page is loading. Crosshair will look like you're trying to draw something. Then not allowed will look like a warning. Zoom in will look like you want to zoom in. Grab will look like you want to grab something. Like there are very many, but me, I want it to have a cursor. Like when I go there, it changes to that. Okay, so I'm done styling the logo. Now let's style the navigation bar. Yeah, so now we go to nav bar. First of all, we're going to give it a width. Then I'm going to say its width is 85% of the page. Yeah, so it's going to, it's not going to occupy 100%. It's going to be 85%. Yeah. Then another one, I need to give it a height, the height of the navigation. If I give a very big height, now like here, these ones, you can see that their width is also around 60%, like from here up here. Then the height is like the height of this. Yeah, from here up to the top. So I'm just going to give like 15% of that page. Yeah, so 15%. Then we go there. I don't expect to see any big change. Why? Because we've not yet like applied maybe a background or what. There's nothing yet big that we've done. Yeah. Then another one, we have to give it a margin. Margin. Now, I'm just going to leave it auto. Auto means that it will automatically adjust according to the screen size, the web browser. Yeah, I'm not going to dictate the margin. Then after margin, then I'm going to use display. How should it display? Now there are different types of displays here, like a block. Block shows that you have very many contents within. There's flex that is flexible. Then there's flexbox. There are very many. Grid, inline. I'm going to go with flex. Yeah, I'm not going to be going to see a demo because of time. We have limited time, but you can now, you've seen how you go and see different properties and which one to choose. Yeah, so flex. Then after that, now when we come back, yeah, let me see. Okay, but we shall see. We still are styling it. Yeah. Now I need to tell it how should it align items, the items which are within the navigation bar. So it's align items. I want them to be centered. This is more about the height. Now the other one was stretching because I've not told it to align the items to the center. Now what is left is I want there should be a space between here so that there is a logo here. Then the button is on the far right, this other side. So that one is called, that property is called justify content. Justify content. Then justifying content, I can put space between. So putting space between is what allows them to stretch. Now you can see that it has put a space between. This is on the far right and this is on the far left. Yeah. So I think we're getting closer. You see now we've done this, but our button is not styled. So it's what we're doing next. So let's style our button. How? Of course, button, we don't need a class. It's already an element. So we're just going to type in button. Yeah, then we start styling it. First of all, we're going to give it a color. Yeah, so I can give it a white color. Yeah, though there is already a color I chose, but it is closer at white. No need to worry about this. It is FB. FB, FC, FD. It's just a color code, but it is closer to white. Now let's check it. Yeah. Okay, but we still doing what? We want it to be like this. Yeah. So we're done with the color. Then what next? I need to style the padding of the column within, okay, of the button, the text and the button. Remember, within the button, you have a text. So I want to show that text should be here, then the button should be like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give 10 pixels, that is to the bottom, then 25, like that. So this is how it's going to look like that. Now, if you give different pixels, maybe 10 by 10, let's give 10 by 10. You're going to see how it looks like. Yeah, this is how it looks like. There is some padding here. Here. Padding is out text, then until the bottom, how should it look like? But now I want it to be a little bit wide this side. That's why I'm saying 25% for this. No, 25 pixels, like that, so that it increases. The padding from the left and the right is 25, 25. Then bottom and top is 10, 10. Okay. Yeah, so then now we've put color, but we can also put what they call background, the background of that logo. Here we can see that it is taking the color to their background, but what I'm going to say, I don't want it to have that color. I just want it to be transparent so that it takes the color of whatever is in the background. Yeah, so now you can see that it is transparent like that. Then what could be left is we can give a border radius onto that button, like border radius. Okay, you can play around with different pixels and see until it reaches what you want. You see that? Yeah, but it's not like this. So we can take up to like 25. This is the border. When you say border radius, it's going to curve these ones. Before they were sharp, it was like a box, but I want to curve them. So this curve is, those are like, that is the radius. Yeah, so now we have it sign up. Okay, now let's be sure about this color. Let's just use white. White is FF, like that. Okay, did I save? Like this. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so now we are done with the pattern. All right, now what is next? Let's go and introduce more content, because now we are done with this part. Now let's come and put in this content. Okay, so I'm going to come back into my, you see we had this big container, and then within it we add some small container, then we can still add more items. Yeah, so the first one was a navigation bar, so you can comment it out so that you don't forget it. So this is a navigation bar. Yeah, like that. Now I'm going to add where I'm going to put my content. So let me just call it content. Yeah, like that. So within here, I can also create another container within it. And now I'm going to give it class content so that it allows me to style it with CSS. Okay, so now let's see, what do we have under this? We have welcome to our, then this is very small. There's a tag which is called small, and it writes small text. So that's what we're going to use. It's called small. Then we can say welcome to our. Okay, then below it, we can use H1. We're going to call it aquarium. Welcome to world's best aquarium. Best aquarium. Then below it, we have a button. So now when we check, yes, we have the content, but it's not styled like here. So we have a button called check tour. So we're going to also add it here. Button, check tour. Okay, so for it, it is already styled because we styled this and that has button. Yeah, but now this content is not yet styled. We're going to style it. Then we can see that world is best to aquarium. Okay, it's divided into two. So there is a break here. We can give a break. World is, then it takes a break like that. Then it comes back to this. Yeah, so we have the content. Then it just needs to be styled. So we're going to go and style the content. Okay. First of all, we need to give it a color, the color. So we come here, we add dot content, no, not container, content. Yeah, we're going to start with the color. We said let's just go with white. Yeah, like that. Now let's check it. Okay, it's white. Yes, getting closer to this, but it's not yet there. Okay, that is okay. Now let's do position. We need to position it. So position. Yeah, I already showed you relative and absolute. So this one is going to be absolute. Okay, not yet changed much. We still need to do more designs. Okay, now I need to tell it how far should it be from the top, like from the top of the website, like the navigation bar or the top of the website. So I'm going to say top. Okay, I can say 50%. In case it doesn't come out well, we can now it is 50% away. Okay, now we need to switch it a bit from the left. It shouldn't be so attached to the left. So I can come and say from the left, please be 8%. Yeah, so now it has switched 8% from the left. Okay, we are getting close. Now this one just needs to be bigger only. The H1 needs to have more font. Okay, let me see what we can do. We can say font size. Let's give it 50, just to first test it and see whether it is satisfying. Yeah, but it is very big. Okay. Let's do 25. Yeah, very close. Okay. Let me see. All right. Okay. Let's add more, like 30. Uh, 40. Yeah, let's just go with that. We shall use that one. No problem. Yeah. So, or since we don't want to affect the other one, so this font size, we shall style it on heading only. Like we're going to style H1 and we give it only the H1 is what we're going to change its font size. Yeah, that one will work better. Yeah, so let's first remove that. I can come here, H1, and I say for every H1, use font size 50. Like that, then we come back. Yeah, so we shall adjust it from here so that it only affects H1. I don't want it to affect others. Yeah, so even if it is 100 pixels, yeah, okay, like that. Now let's continue. we need to do what they call translation. Now you see here, this is located so much down, like on the y-axis. So what translate does, you can come here and it's called, it's a transform. Yeah, transform, then you translate to the y. This is a transform. It shows you how you transform. Like in case you're transforming, you see, it just locates according to x and y. It's kind of like you have x and y and you want to transform it. Yeah, so it has different properties, and one of the values is translate y. This one, there's translate x and translate y. I want to translate on the y-axis like this. So I'm going to translate it, but here I put a value. I can either put a value or I put a percentage. So I'm going to use percentage, and I'm going to use negative so that it moves up instead. So we come here at content, say transform. Then we're going to use translate y. Yeah, then I'm going to give, let me first give 50%. When it is non-negative, you see the differences in positions. Now it has gone down. I want it to move up. So I'm going to use negative 50%. So now it is moving back like that. So we are close to this. Though this one is very big. I guess 100 pixels too is a lot. Let me just give 80. Yeah, so that is it. It is 80. 80 is okay. Yeah, so you can see that now we've worked on, we are so close to this. We are done with the content and the button. What is left is we have a sidebar here that is making our page to look so nice, this one here. And we are missing it. So it's what we're going to add. Yeah. So how do we start? We shall need to go and create it. Where is it going to be located? Remember, within the container, we've had a navigation bar and the content. Then now we're going to also create a sidebar. All of them are going to be within that. So I'll just use div for another small container. Then now here, the class that is going to have is called sidebar, so that we go and style it. That name depends on you. You can give it any name as long as you will come here and it is the name that you're going to use to style. It's called style sidebar. Okay. Yeah. So the sidebar. We need to draw it first. This, we need to give it a width. The width and the height. Yeah. So it's what I'm starting with. The width. Yeah. The width, I'm going to give it 50 pixels. Width 50, it is very small, 50 pixels. Yeah. Then the height. Now, I would give the height of, let me say pixels, or maybe 200. But now that will be disturbing because, okay, there's, I wrote it in a wrong location. Sorry about that. It's supposed to be inside here. Now a height, remember this is like a container, just that we've called it sidebar. If you dictate the height, then it's just going to be like a box fixed there. So there are other terms that we use to define height. And one of it is view. It's called viewpoint. Like already, I already explained to you about the viewpoint. Yeah, the viewpoint height. And I want it to have the height of the whole screen that is viewing it or the web browser. Yeah, so I'm going to use 100. So I'm going to come here and I use the height instead of 200 pixels. Then I'm just going to use the height of 100 VH. Yeah. Okay, nothing is showing yet because we've not yet given it any background or we've not yet added anything. So what I'm going to do, I need to give it a background here. We're still here. Not the image, just background. Yeah. So the background can be a color. In case maybe if you do a color like FFF, like that, if we check it out, yeah, now you see we have it on the left, this. We've not yet modeled it. Yeah, so let's first position it. Position. Then I'm going to use absolute position. Yeah, like that, no big change. Okay, now I'm going to tell it, please, the distance from the right, 0 pixels. So I'm fixing it on the right. See, now I've fixed it on the right. Then I need to pull it up on top. So I'm going to say the margin from top, like how should it deviate from the top? 0. Like I want it to be very on the top. Yeah, it has moved it there. Now you can see that we've got it, but it's not of a white color. It should be of a different color. So yeah, we're going to use a gradient color. Then the color codes that I'm going to use are going to be basing on the photo. You can see down here, it is getting a color that is closer to this. Then up here, it is getting a color that looks similar to this. So I'm going to be using gradient instead of white. I'm going to use, there's a function that is called or a value called the linear gradient. Then you give two colors of that linear gradient. Now the color codes, you can get them from, okay, you can get them from online, but in case you want exact color code from here, then you have to use like Photoshop or Illustrator and pick it. But I already got them, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on that. Then another one is this. It is 00, then 729. Okay, this is a comma. Yeah, 3 zeros like that. Okay, let's see how it is looking like. Yeah, now you can see it. So that is the linear gradient. It is taking a gradient of two colors. It changes from this color to another one. Yeah. So we're very close to this. What is missing is these are images. So I'm just going to put these images and I style them. That is what is left. Then maybe, let me see what else. No, we are done with the sidebar. It is okay. Now I can put in images inside. Yeah, so I'm going to come back here to index. Yeah, so you can see this is a container. We've just styled a container. We've given it to be on the far right and the far top. Then you've given it linear gradient. Okay. All right. So now let's put inside things that are inside the sidebar. One, I'm going to create two, like two containers. One is going to have these images here for social network. Then another one will have this. Then also another one. This is not going to be a container. I'll just put this image. I have the image of a menu. Yeah, so I'm going to put it here. IMG. Then the source is in images. Then it is menu.png. Yeah, but it's not yet styled. So when I come here, I can see it is there, but it is not styled like this. It should look good. So I'm going to create a class. Then I go and I style it from that class. Yeah, so, okay, let's style it. We need to create a class. Class is equal to menu. Yeah, I'll style it later. Let me first add these ones. Now here I'll need images, and those images are going to be for social networks. Yeah, so first images. So I'm going to bring one for Facebook. Then I can copy and paste. Or let me just write again. Image. This one is for Instagram. Okay, Twitter. Then image images, then this one's for Instagram. Okay, so those ones are for social network. Then I need another container, another small container that is going to have the other two icons. I'm going to show them to you. These ones here, these two. So I'm putting small containers here. So now you can see where for us we've reached. We've added them, but they are not looking good yet, which is okay. We shall style them. So I'll come to image, then source. Yeah, images stroke. I have one that shows information, then another one that tells someone to share. So images stroke share. Yeah, these ones I prepared them in advance and they are all transparent. Yeah, so now we can see we want to achieve this, but see what we have. Yeah, so the HTML has done this. So it is the CSS to style it to this. And what you need to change is just the size, the location. Yeah, only that. So we're going to create two classes. Like within this, we're going to use a class of social links. Then to style this one, we're going to use a class of, wait, did we, I think I wrote these ones in the wrong place. They're supposed to be inside this. Yeah, sorry about that. So here, it's class. Let me call them useful links. Just for, so that I can style them. Yeah, there's no yet change. I've not styled them. So I need to come and create those classes. The first one is for the menu, that menu icon. Then another one is going to be for social links. Then another one is going to be for useful links. Okay, so let's start with the menu. Yeah, so the menu, some of the declarations that we need display. Yeah, here I chose block. There are also other forms of displays. I already showed you where you can go to for demonstration and you choose which one is the best. Then its width, I'm going to reduce it so that it is small. So I'm going to use 25 pixels. Then the margin, I'm going to use the margin of 40 pixels. Then the one in the middle, I'm going to say auto. Then from the right, I can say 0 pixel. Let me see how it is looking like. Now it is looking like this, which is okay. Maybe when someone points to it, I can add a cursor. I can say cursor is equal to pointer. So when I point to it, now it shows a cursor. So I need to style these ones. I'm going to start with making the images for like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram small. So with that, what I can do, we can say social. Okay, let me create it up here. Instead of social links, but I want to go to only the images. That is how it is written. Like within the social links, which is here, this social links class, go to the image element. Like it should be within the social links and again image element. So let me first style that. I want to reduce them, the size, their size. Yeah, so I'm going to give them small width, same as the other one of 25 pixels. Then what else? The width is 25. Maybe I can also give some margin. Yeah, so let me just give 5 pixels from the left, then auto. So let's see how they are looking like. Yeah, now they are looking okay. They are small. at least they are small. Maybe also we can put a cursor, like a cursor on them to be pointer. Cursor to be pointer. Like that. In case they need width white, we shall do so. Yeah, but later on. So let's see how these ones are looking like. Yeah, there is some space. We shall add it. No need to worry. Okay. So what I can see, we can apply the same to these other images so that they also become small. So with that, you just do comma, then whichever is going to be applied on social also apply to useful links, and again on the images only, like that. Yeah, so they are small the way we want them to be. Okay. So maybe, okay, we shall get back to the margin. Now what is left is just distributing these to make them to have space in between. So what we're going to do, we're going to make social links to be in the center. Yeah, so I'm going to come to social links, exactly there on social links. That container, the whole container, I'm going to give it a width. Let me give it a width of 50 pixels. Then I can also do text align. Then I give center. Okay, let's see now how it is changing. Come here. Yeah, now they are centered. Use text align to center them here. So we shall apply the same down here, but that is okay. Now let's also go to position. Then we use absolute position. Okay, it's okay. We are still designing. So then I can say from the top, please be 50% away from the top. Yeah, so now we can see that it is 50%. Then what is left is us to apply the same things, but now this one we shall use bottom. So then maybe we can translate it to the transform. Then you translate it on the y-axis. Okay, negative 50, so that it matches with what we have here. It matches with this content here. Yeah. So what is left is putting these ones on bottom. Okay, so I can copy all these ones, width, height, what here. But for it, I'll just say, just be some pixels from the bottom. And I'm just going to say be 30 pixels away from the bottom. All right. Yes, and we have it. So you can see that we've moved away from, let me show you how it was looking like before. Okay, someone is asking for the code. Okay, maybe I'll send it, but you can keep referring to the what? To the recording as you refer to this page. Like you can make different decisions. Yeah, you can make different decisions. But now you can see how our page is looking like. And it was from, we moved away from, let me copy this. We've moved away from this. Okay, when it doesn't have CSS, this is how it looks like. And see, when I styled it, this is how it is looking like. Yeah, so I know most of you may have got lost, but I just wanted to show you or to inspire you that you can have beautiful websites like this. But you look at the code. The code is not, it is not a lot. You look at the HTML code, just very small. We just have very few content. Then look at the CSS code. It is also not a lot. Yeah. So yeah, it's quite a lot. Like the properties were very many. The new properties that I've introduced are very many. Then also the values. Yeah, but again, in order for you to get something good or to produce something good, you have to give in your time until you achieve it. Then on Wednesday, we are going to continue with this website, and we add animations. And those animations will be like bubbles that are moving from down and moving up automatically. Yeah, so that has been our session, and it has been different from the ones we've been having. Yeah, but I just wanted to show you what CSS can do, why we're saying CSS beautifies websites. Yeah, so it moves them from this to this. Same content, just different ways of being laid out. Yeah. So anyone with a question or something to say? Hello? Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the YouTube video. Then this code, the whole code is going to be uploaded on Google Drive. So I'll put a link there. So you click on the link, then you'll be able to download the whole website. All right. Other than that, have a good night. We meet on Wednesday.